Believers, it's that time again. We are talking the penultimate episode of Lucha Underground Season 3 with a very special, very intrepid guest. So stick around because you're not going to want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What an amazing choice. Holy shit. Guys, it's Thursday night. You know what time it is. It's time for Lucha Underground After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, thank you so much. We know things are a little bit different than usual, but we appreciate you tuning in regardless. We're talking Ultimate Lucha Trace, Part 3. We've only got one more episode after this, so there's a lot to get to. My name is Ty Matthews. You guys can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. To my left, she's young, dumb, and I'm not going to say the last thing that she wanted me to say. You can find her online at Rachel Sam Evans or Rachel Sam Vans. It really does depend on how your brain works. Guys, it's Rachel Evans.
What's up? I love you.
I told her she looked like a cult, like a member of a swamp cult today.
I have tried to start a sex cult with my subscribers, and then I realized that they're all 13.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not great.
Which is legal in New Mexico.
To Rachel's left, you know him as the leader of the Rabbit Tribe on Lucha Underground. He's a dear friend of the show, one of our absolute favorite people. You can find him online at London Foo. Guys, it's Paul London.
And he loves New Mexico.
Yeah.
Jesus.
For shoot. Howdy.
Paul,
Only
thank
because of
you.
the turquoise.
Thank you so much for joining us. We've
The
been
pleasure's all on this fragment of the table.
We're talking, like I said, we're going to be talking a little bit about Ultima Lucha Trace, part 3 of 4. We got one more episode left after this, but more so than that, we're going to be talking to Paul about the Rabbit Tribe, about his involvement with the show, his career, all that good stuff.
So go to sleep now.
Join us on the ones and twos, ladies and gentlemen, Steve, producer Steve.
Yeah, Viking Steve.
Love this guy.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing alright. How you doing?
I'm okay.
So good.
Okay.
Fantastic.
pretty good.
Let's fade out this awesome John Carpenter music. I'm definitely going to be listening to this later. That's awesome.
I love that movie.
He tours with that.
What's that?
He does concerts.
John Carpenter does?
Yeah, like concerts.
No
and that's
way.
on the, yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Paul,
Oh, we've started.
we've started. Oh, we're live, baby, live.
Welcome to the jungle.
Let's just talk a little bit before we get into this episode. Let's talk a little bit about your involvement with the show in general. How did your involvement with Lucha Underground come about? How did this sort of iteration of the Paul London character come about?
Gluten-free pancakes were involved. They were, I think one of the deceased characters, Bale.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, we go way back. Mm-hmm. I moved out to California in like 2001, like when 9/11 and all that stuff happened. And
Right.
I befriended a lot of SoCal mainstays.
Right.
You know?
You were tag teaming with Scott Lost at the time.
I was
Lost in London.
yeah, the infamous Lost in London. There's a T-shirt floating around somewhere.
Is there?
In my attic.
Great.
And I'm the only one that has it. Yeah. And anyways, so Bale's been a friend of mine a long time. Benny.
Yeah.
B-boy.
B-boy.
You know, B-boy. I like B-boy is good. Has he used that before?
I don't think so.
I don't know, but I love it.
B-bomb.
His
rip-off
nuptials.
shirt.
God, that's
That's
good.
B-boy.
That's good.
Yeah.
His nuptials are coming up. Congratulations to the
yeah.
boy.
So many people
Congrats.
are getting married.
Right?
Congrats on those
Right.
handcuffs. And so
I was about to say it's cuffing season. It's happening.
it's cuffing season.
It's happening.
There's a warrant out for your life.
It's freaking me out, man.
Well, yeah, so he asked me, he goes, would there be any interest on your part, would you ever want to work, for them or do anything with them? And I thought, well, no. I don't really want to be too involved. Like, I don't want to go to bed with a wrestling company anymore. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. What an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, it's...
What a
that's what you're
mafia
doing.
way to put it.
No, that's what you're doing, sweetheart.
Sure.
You're getting the bricks put to you or put to somebody else. I don't know where that was going.
I don't know, but I liked it.
It was
Sure.
a poor mafia.
I was there for it.
But yeah, I wasn't, and so, but I knew a lot of the people involved, and I knew, DeJoseph from the other place that I worked at.
That other place.
That other place. It's like left of Wendy's in Stanford. And so we met up over some gluten-free pancakes, and I said, this is what I don't want to do, and this is what I am kind of interested in, and it was cool.
What didn't you want to do?
I didn't want to do head dropping stuff. I just thought, like, I don't
Sure.
want to come here and just be a guy who's here to put people over and kill myself in the process.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I'm going to kill myself on my own time. I don't want to do it in front of TV for
My
glory.
turn.
Right.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. If anything, I just wanted to do something very different. You know, it's like, I want to show something else, because I felt that for the the 5.5, 6 years that I was at that other job,
Right.
it was just, there wasn't a whole lot of room for growth, you know what I mean? And there certainly was no collaboration whatsoever. You know, it's like, bring us your ideas and we'll steal them or laugh at you and make you wonder why you're alive. But so I expressed all that stuff, and I said, I don't want to look like I've ever looked, and I don't want to, all that stuff.
Right.
I said,
I want
if
to have a huge cod piece.
Oh yeah. Well, there's more on that later.
Awesome.
I just said the only thing is, we can use, we'll just use my name. I don't want to change my name and be like, El Pollo Loco.
Right. Right. Right.
That would be great, though.
It was on the list.
If you
Right.
came up as El Pollo Loco.
Yeah. Well, as we were meeting, I think it was like at Cables or something in Encino, or I don't know. It's since been closed down, probably because we went there a lot afterwards. We're like, wait, gluten-free pancakes? Like, fucking these people. And we never tip either, since we love Reservoir Dogs.
The Mr. Pink argument.
Yeah,
Right.
makes total sense. Oh, this might turn into an argument.
I'll fight you on this.
Yeah, it just. So long story short, I was actually supposed to debut in season 2, but then I had a match with Cage, your trainer. I'm just kidding. I just made that up.
My trainer, Brian Cage. I would love that. Please.
Well, we had a match, and I got hurt, and so PJ Black actually stepped in, and that his spot was going to be where I was going to.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
In season 2, yeah. I don't know if I would have been a part of Worldwide Underground or anything, but I was supposed to debut against Willie Mack, and
So it wasn't going to be this character that you're doing now.
No, not at all. This wasn't
Interesting.
even, a creation in a slimy, swirly puddle.
Do you feel like it was kind of a blessing in disguise? Because the iteration that Paul London is on Lucha now is so great.
Oh well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's weird. Yeah, it was good. But the getting hurt was a good opportunity because what really it instilled trust in me in this new bed partner. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, because at the end of the day, the advantages were I live here in LA and I just have to drive 20 minutes to work, and it's on weekends, and it pays better than most jobs, especially waitress jobs. And
You put on a skirt?
I do, in a way. I put on less than that, but there was just a chance to do something new. And then so when I got hurt, they said, "Don't worry, how would you?" Because originally part of the original Pancake negotiations was that I can do more than wrestle. You know what I mean? Like, is there anything you guys might be interested in me doing?
Like behind the scenes?
Yeah, I was like, I should rewrite this whole piece of shit show, and I should redirect everything.
Right.
I want to
London
redo all the
Underground.
characters. Yeah, I just thought like this is a real prime opportunity here to get myself over. But they were like, no. Well, I was impressed. I guess my emails were much more impressive than my vocabulary. Because they said, well, let's bring you on as like a producer. Would you be interested in doing that? And I thought, well, yeah, but you're going to pay me more, right?
Right.
And it was just, that's something, I teach seminars and stuff like that. I have a seminar this week, and I'm doing it in like Colorado Springs. And I try to always squeeze a seminar in when I'm doing a show because I just enjoy teaching. So that was a neat thing for me, was that, hey, we're still going to use you for like every show. And that way you're actually working every show because you're producing it. And it instilled a lot of faith. Like, hey, these guys care about me more than just a piece of meat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
That's
I like
good to know.
Yeah, I like to swing my meat. And
Once again, as we saw from the cod piece.
my brain meat
Right.
too. Yeah.
Right.
We all
But
know.
But that came much later on, actually. So at this end of season 2, I actually had a weird, like a late dark match with Daivari, actually. And I was wearing
Sean Daivari.
Yeah,
Right.
Sean Daivari. I guess his brother's on like 205 Live or something.
Right.
He's also very good. And we had a match, and I was wearing like similar to what I wear now when I'm not this rabbit guy. Like I was wearing this red and gray kind of thing, and it was terrible. Like it was a terrible match. It was just bad. Because in my head, I was thinking like I had to be like something that I'm like, I don't know. It was almost like I was wanting to be like taken in a serious way because I thought that the tone of the show
Was like more gritty, kind of.
I
see.
and I just thought, okay, I want to come in and be something like badass, you know what I mean? Like as silly as that sounds, you know what I mean? But like I think everyone has this idea in their head with like, you know, hey, this might be a chance for me to like really turn a corner, and you know, I want people to start taking me seriously.
Sure.
And so, and I was taking like a lot of kung fu at the time, a lot of Wing Chun and stuff at the time. I was like, I'm gonna incorporate this in, and that was like the only good part. But it was just flat. Like I was rusty, and it just didn't click very well. And so then, fast forward later, you know, I like begged them. I was like, please don't air this match. Like, please don't air this match. And they didn't. But then they were like, we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out for you. And I was like, okay, cool. And then it wasn't until really like we were going into season 3 that they were like, hey, we have this idea for you to be part of this rabbit tribe. And I instantly thought they were like kind of like making fun of me or something. And I thought like, okay, like this is kind of like a joke,
Right.
thing. Like they're like, how am I supposed to make this tough?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I ramble a lot, so please feel free to interrupt me.
No, it's great.
Or whatever. I'm just
interesting.
spewing out info so I don't have to include it in a book later. So they go, yeah, we want you to be a part of this rabbit thing. Like, and I said, well, okay, well, I don't understand. They're like, well, it's like a rabbit god. You know, there's like these 7, is it 7?
I think so. The tribes.
Yeah, there's like these 7 gods, these ancient Aztec gods, and this is one of them, but he's kind of more like the fun one. And I was like, oh, okay. That was really all we kind of got. And then they're like, okay, well, we're going to have so-and-so and so-and-so with you. Like, kayfabe, man. And, but we wore the same outfits. Like, we wore the same, like, what I wear right now when I'm not doing the rabbit guy thing is, it's like a jumpsuit, very much inspired by, like, the Running Man.
Oh, okay.
But it has, like, a built-in hood. And so the 3 of us were wearing like the identical suits to that, but with like the rabbit tribe logo on the back.
Like Schwarzenegger, like
yeah.
Okay.
So somewhere in some warehouse there are
Running
these
Man.
3 suits of rabbit tribe outfits, the original rabbit tribe outfits, where they look like well, the notes we got were you guys look like scuba divers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ty, how do we get those for the last episode?
I want to find them. I want to.
You, me, and Jimbo. I mean,
those
come
are
on.
our podcasting outfits for the
Please,
finale.
please.
Yeah, it was not very inspiring. I thought, okay, we really missed the boat. You know, scuba diving rabbits. I don't get where this is gonna go. And I think I was still thinking like battle beasts. Like that was my mindset.
Battle Beasts?
Yeah, Battle Beasts was this series of toys in the late '80s. Sorry for anyone who was born after 1990. Your toys, video games, and music sucks.
Oh.
Well, it's true. If you're an
Yikes.
'80s kid, we had the greatest cartoons. We had the greatest toy commercials, toys. Toys R Us actually meant something.
Sure.
Sadly,
Right.
now it's like going bankrupt.
Right.
It's so sad. My whole childhood's going bankrupt, including myself.
My adult life also.
Yeah. It's sucking me in. Everything I touch falls apart. It's true.
Hey, that's true.
Okay, so
But Battle Beast was this. It was like Micro Machines.
Sure.
Okay, so it's similar to that. But there were these literally tribes of animals. Like there was a whole like deer group of animals, but they wore armor and they had like this little hologram on their chest. Not to be confused with Visionaries, which was another great toy line.
Oh, boy.
That had holograms on their chests.
Okay.
But it was like Knights of the Royal something. Anyways,
Okay.
and they shared voices. All the same voice actors that did the voices for G.I. Joe and Transformers, they all did voices for Visionaries. And a lot of others, these cartoon, Mask was another cartoon.
Oh, I
back
remember
in
that.
the-
Yeah.
So it's that whole time back there. So when they told us Rabbit Tribe, and like I'm sitting here thinking like, hey, we're supposed to be like rabbits in this temple thing. Like this is supposed to be like. Oh, and I was also thinking, you might like this one. I don't know if you'll even know this movie, Warriors of Virtue.
No worries of virtue.
That sounds familiar.
I watched
Yeah.
it 3 weeks ago in my office.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's really weird.
What'd you think?
Wow.
It's pretty trippy, isn't it?
I mean, I was that.
It's
So,
like
yes.
it's like a Jim Henson-esque
Yeah.
like martial arts
Okay.
Bushido weird kind of film, but
My
it's
head
like
editor is obsessed with it.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 2 of them. The first one was like the main one that people paid attention to, but yeah, it was like live action people dressed in like animatronic type like suits, like
Oh, you
like
were
the original
inspired by
Ninja
that.
Turtle type
Okay, yeah.
movie. But in like rabbits and there's some other animals and stuff. But Warriors of Virtue, yeah, it's a pretty interesting film. So I thought that, and we actually had like samurai gloves ordered and stuff because I was thinking like we should be dressed kind of like this samurai group,
Right.
like Bushido or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they went to the trouble of, like bought all this like armor and shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like in this, when we debuted against the same team we debuted against on TV, Aerostar, Drago, and Phoenix. We didn't have the same match, but it was the same setup, the same us against them, except we were in the scuba diver suits with the Bushido gloves and shit. And you would take those off, you know, and like the makeup department person's like, those are $60 gloves. It's just 5 seconds. You know, and by the way, the costuming and makeup department's top notch.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
like the differences, I can get into that later, but so again, yeah, it was like you guys looked like scuba divers. What we were thinking was more Alice in Wonderland, and the second they said Alice in Wonderland, I was like, you must have seen me in the parking lot. So yeah, I was thinking more, yeah, Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter. I think the combination I was given was like Freddie Mercury and Mick Jagger.
Okay.
And I'm not like the biggest Mick Jagger fan. I mean, I love him as a performer, and it's like what I understand he's
Freddie,
the
right?
hardest
Like a showman.
worker. Yeah, he's the hardest worker. But like, it's not. You know, I'm much more of a Queen person.
Sure.
Hey.
Much more of a queen.
Yeah,
For sure.
KW.
for sure.
KW.
Yeah. And
Yes.
but I love Elvis, and so like I kind of replaced Mick Jagger with Elvis.
I see.
in that
Yeah, I
weird
see
combination.
that for sure.
But my first response was, okay, well, this character needs a cod piece. Like that was the first thing I had to get renegotiated here with this character. And I said he needs a cod piece, and I sent like literally pages, like 8 pages of like attachments of just cod pieces, just to like inspire them.
I feel like
Okay,
one
sure.
would do.
One would probably suffice.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's a cod
they
piece.
said yes, and I sent them anyways.
Just more.
Yeah, I was just like, well, this will really
I don't know if you get it.
Yeah, like,
It does kind of look like the entire rabbit tribe was outfitted by the pleasure chest. There's a gimp suit.
Yeah, we do
There's
have
like
a gimp.
there's like
A lot of
couple
vinyl
gimps.
on
there's
Malasuerte.
vinyl mask. You're
Yeah.
wearing a cod piece. Like the whole thing is like, it's like
It's-
Alice in Wonderland in the dungeon.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like a porn parody of Alice in Wonderland,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we don't have any
This
chicks.
ain't Alice in
Yeah.
Wonderland.
This
Maybe-
is not
yeah.
Alice in Wonderland.
with no girls, you know. Like,
Down the
we're like-
rabbit's hole.
Yeah, I've heard them all. Yeah, no, there's a lot of possibilities. I think we've spoken about trying to possibly conjure up I wanted to conjure up a female. What's that weird science style?
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do
Oh, wow.
something like that.
Sure.
and possibly for down the road. Who knows?
Uh,
Cool.
Or,
Yeah,
you
that'd be
know.
awesome. Yeah.
And I also want to I have lots of ideas, but I think it would be a lot of fun for us to have like a girl come out of a cauldron, but she's big and she gets like stuck in the cauldron, and we like pull her out. But that's like our girl is like this big girl, like,
Right.
You know, she's like the hottest thing we've ever seen. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I just think that would be the last thing we would want is some cliche model bullshit.
No, exactly. Yeah. I dig that. So let's touch on this episode a little bit. That was it was a long way to get there.
Sorry, I told you.
No,
Just interrupt my ass.
No.
That was really interesting.
This episode is better for having had those stories.
I know. And I haven't said anything bad.
So we started. Don't jinx it. We start off with you're just clawing at it. It's waiting to get out of you. We start with the last luchador standing.
Sure.
Sexy Star taking on Taya.
So funny.
As we've said, like given the recent context that Sexy Star has been put into.
Can I speak?
Yes,
Can I
please,
speak?
please.
So
Yeah.
us knowing that Sexy Star is a horrible person.
Right.
Like us understanding
It puts
that
it in
now,
a little different light.
This was the funniest unintentional Taya face turn.
That's and
Yeah.
Immediately nobody, it's just so funny to look back on something that like nobody in the temple knows. Nobody knows yet. She knew. But
Right.
like we didn't know yet.
Right.
And now we know.
But we see, yeah, exactly. And I think it's a great way to put it. Like it would have been a great sort of face turn moment for Taya.
It was unintentional.
Right.
Like she was getting
Even, I mean, you could compare it because of the blood that was streaming down her face. You could almost compare it to
The Steve Austin?
to Hart and Austin, exactly. To that sort of double turn when Austin.
Be proud of me.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
You did a very good job. When it is that blood that sort of earns him that begrudging respect in people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of stuff happening. Very hard chops as we saw
Very
in this match.
very shoot chops. Like those
That's
are
what it seemed
like those were punishment chops.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
No, they
haven't
don't.
liked each other. I mean, I don't know. Most of the people are pretty cool, but you know, you have a few people that get kind of very protective of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I would say Sexy's probably one of those people that gets. I mean, I'm not out to defend one person one way or another, but she's. I think she's been doing this a long time, and she's maybe just not as enthused about it a lot, but she knows she has like a fan base, and you know she's good at it. But I think the thing in Mexico too is just kind of like a big, kind of overblown, kind of. Yeah, I felt like the whole thing was really overblown. to be honest
Which
with
thing?
you.
The
triple
title
A
taking?
Mexico, like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's all
Or
nonsense.
the like arm hurting.
The arm hurt thing.
Rosemary thing.
Yeah, I think the stuff in Mexico, like I don't think Mexico's ran very good personally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just the country.
Yeah.
Or
no,
the rest.
No, AAA. I
The
should
wrestling
say.
scene
Yeah,
where-
AAA. I
I was
don't even want to
joking.
I don't even want to say other companies.
No, yeah.
There is this one McDonald's that really needs to get their act together.
Really?
In Mexico.
Yeah, in Guadalajara.
You should Yelp about it.
Nah.
Come on, dude.
No.
The people have
No.
to know. No.
For all the times I've said, you know what, man, I've never Yelped. This was so good. I'm gonna Yelp a review this time. I still have never done it. Never. And I'm,
It's the idea. It's the
I've never
principle.
yelled.
I guess.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
Have you ever Yelped? I bet you've Yelped.
No.
Yeah, I bet you haven't Yelped.
I mean, I've Yelped.
There's gotta be some janky Urban Dictionary definitions for
But I
Yelp.
just, I don't know. I don't know. The match was. I think they've wrestled each other so many times too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It did feel like a fatigued match a little bit.
I bet.
Right.
It wasn't. I love watching Taya so much, and I think she has so much power, and she's so quick, and she's so strong and sturdy, and I didn't see a lot of that
Right.
in
right,
this.
right.
And there were even spots that were like, you could tell they're not helping each other. I think
Right.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're
Blood
not
is cool.
excited to make the other one look.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's a good. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so eventually we see them kind of fight up to the top of that. Of I guess the bleachers,
They
sort
like,
of.
they
Yeah.
crawl up there
whole
together.
area. Yeah. Two tables stacked on top of each other. They take the plunge through both tables. Taya is on the bottom, hits the ground first. Eventually, Sexy makes it up.
Yeah,
just
last person up, right?
just
Okay.
just barely in the nick of time. Makes the count of 10. Last luchador standing.
You know, one of my favorite parts of that whole match was Matt Stryker's commentary. It's excellent. I mean, he never ceases to impress me with his commentary.
Right.
It's like better and better. And he commentates so in the moment.
Well, and I was gonna say the fact that he can pull some of those calls like. And be as eloquent as he is in the midst of a heated match.
Yeah.
And also despite like not getting much back.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, the fans can't hear him, you know what I mean? And so, like, he's, but it's... So he said something about banging your head off of, like, a $600 super expensive piece of equipment.
Six figure camera.
I just thought, like, this is great. Like, that's fun little bit of info that makes sense, and it happened.
Yeah. So next up, we have the unique opportunity that the Mac won last week in teaming with Dante Fox and Killshot to take on Vibora, Pindar, and Drago for the trios titles.
This was so goddamn good.
It was so much fun to watch.
This was so
This
good.
was super fun to watch.
We do have to comment on Frick. I'm about to say his real name. Stop.
Dante Fox.
No. Killshot.
Oh, Killshot.
Thank you. I get in trouble a lot. When
He's
Killshot
a sniper.
was...
He'll kill you.
No, I know.
He's up there right now.
Don't say my name, bitch. Don't say my name.
No, Rachel would be more afraid of Drago with his anthropomorphized.
I don't fuck with
No, this is mi nombre.
Anthropomorphication.
Right.
I can't. Every time
Rachel
I see his face,
is legitimately afraid of animals taking on human characteristics.
I am. I'm very afraid.
Like to a very serious degree.
Yeah.
So you're just terrified of all fables?
Sure.
I mean, if there were like films,
if it's like Drago,
or like Animal Farm or something like that, scare the shit out of you?
No.
If there was a movie,
it's like Babe doesn't scare me, but that Twilight Zone episode scares me. So like it's an animal specifically taking on human characteristics and features.
And so Drago's features in this match,
they fuck me up.
They were very, very scary.
Oh, because of his face.
His face.
Yeah.
Yes, because of his face.
Well, his contacts and like.
See, I've always thought Drago looks like Wishmaster.
I could see that. I could see that for sure.
Like the Jin and Wishmaster.
Sure.
He's definitely like silly looking, and I get that. But when he looks,
would you say that to his face?
No.
To his scaly face.
Like, silly and cute and good, like a good silly good.
Like a silly good boy.
Like a silly good boy.
Sure.
He's a silly good boy.
Sure.
But
that
when he
sounds
looks
worse.
No, silly.
Hey, we're here with the silly good boys.
Everybody in the temple is a boy. Everybody in the temple is a sweaty boy. They're a silly boy. I think you're. What was he?
I'm probably like a silly bulgy boy.
I think you might have been. I think you might have been something like a butt boy or a bulgy boy.
A butt boy. That's
butt boy.
the worst. Butt boy is the worst of them all.
I don't think we ascribed a boy named Paul.
Yes. I think that's
just a little bit.
I'm gonna go with butt boy. But yeah, that freaked me out.
I think just a sweet boy. I think one of the segments where you guys were sort of chasing after Masquerita and trying to worship him.
Oh.
Like, oh, look at those sweet boys.
That was a sweet boy.
Sweet boy.
You're right. You're totally right.
We like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cute.
He's the only one we think we can beat. So
that's what it is.
We're trying to befriend him now.
Right.
Yeah.
But God, no, this match was so much fun to watch.
This match was dope.
The pounce from the Mac to Vibora,
Yeah.
where it kind of crisscrossed a couple times.
I thought he was gonna dive.
Right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is
Right.
gonna be cool.
Yeah.
You know?
like-
Mac hits the dive. We see that sort of begrudging teamwork between Dante Fox and Killshot,
And eventually, it just becomes like admiration.
which their
Dante-
their story and their arc is one of my favorites in
Sure.
For sure.
in the show's kind of mythos.
feels
you know?
kind of the realist.
Exactly. Well, especially in the Hell of War match that we saw a couple weeks ago, they're channeling this story like
we had a fan, a very loyal fan, who I won't say, but a very loyal fan to the show, messaged me because he knows I'm with the writers and I'm part of the meetings and stuff, and he messaged me after the Fox kill shot. What was that match even called? Like
the Hell of War.
Hell of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, hey, we love the show and all that stuff, but that was too far.
Oh.
Oh boy.
That was a little too far.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, and we just thought, fuck it.
I don't think so.
Right,
No.
right.
Probably wasn't
Exactly.
far. It was just the beginning. You know?
Right, exactly.
So-
But you see Dante Fox at the end of this match is my favorite moment of the match. Where Killshot, what move did he do? That was just incredible.
The
And-
Spanish fly, where he jumps up and grabs him and swings back?
do you
or?
know what I'm talking about? I don't know.
Everything he does is incredible.
I mean,
Right,
everything
right,
he does
right,
is
right.
incredible.
Oh, when
but
he
there was
walked
one
to the
move,
ring?
yeah.
That was amazing.
He did actually walk to
Which-
the ring like he ate a big burrito, and it was really cute. It was
We
like a
we did
sleepy
note
baby.
when Killshot is going down the steps, he's selling his ribs, but it looks like he's going.
I'm so hungry. I ate that burrito.
Oof.
I'm
Right.
sleepy
Oh,
now.
the burrito's coming out one of my cuts. Oh God.
He just starts spilling.
But
beans.
I think it is the Spanish fly that you might be talking
when
about.
Dante was in the corner and he just went, oh shit.
right.
So
So
good.
we see that lo mein pain is what he normally calls it. I don't know if it's actually called Dante's Inferno. I think Matt Stryker called a Dante's Inferno reference when he hit that. I don't know if that's what it's
And he
called.
wrote it down. He's like, that better be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We get that. We get the Max Stunner. We get the kill stomp from
Yeah,
Killshot.
that stomp.
Yeah. It's
for
amazing.
the Matt, Killshot, and Dante Fox to win the trios titles.
Over
And they touched
Pindar.
Yes, over Pindar. Yes,
Over Pindar.
Pindar.
Was
He's-
Drago even in the match? I skimmed through it.
He
I was like,
was,
I'm
he
not
was.
in this shit,
He-
so I gotta.
Did he fight though? Yes,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, he did.
Matt got sparkles all over his tummy.
He did.
That's how I know he fought. He got
So
blood
we've
all over his tummy.
right,
These
exactly.
skills.
Yeah.
So we've got new trios champions. We've also gotta keep the lights on a little bit. So I want to talk to y'all about this show on the CW. So Mondays on the CW or the Charlie Whiskey Television Network. The CW brings to you the front line of drama with the new military series Valor. Now, 2 special ops Army helicopter pilots are breaking boundaries and defying all expectations. Their bravery in the face of impossible odds earned them the Distinguished Flying Cross for Valor. But together they're finding that truth is the first casualty of war. During their last mission, something went wrong, something no one's talking about, and when they went into the combat zone, not everyone came home. So now they've got secrets, but they're also patriots and refuse to leave any man behind. What would you do if you had to break the rules to do what's right? Would you stay grounded and step in line, or go to any lengths to learn the truth? Now they share secrets, they go on clandestine missions, they risk life and limb with only each other to depend on. How close would you get to the only person who really knows you? It's the explosive new drama that pushes the boundaries between military discipline and human nature. The new series that's right on target. That's right, it's Valor. New episodes Monday at 8 Central. After all new episodes of Supergirl, only on Charlie Whiskey, the CW.
Hail Satan!
Charlie Whiskey.
Moving on.
Is it really Charlie Whiskey?
Is that actually?
Yes,
the
it's
CW network?
the CW. That's not. I mean, that's in the context of Valor. That's what they're calling it
Charlie Whiskey.
because it's a
Wow.
military show, guys.
Oh, Charlie Whiskey, like,
Jesus Christ, the CW.
no,
like call
under-
letters.
Oh, honey,
Oh,
I understand.
like-
yes.
Okay,
Oh.
call letters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Fuck. Let's
Like-
move on to this ladder
Like
match.
Zoo.
Pentagon Dark taking on Son of Havoc for the Gift of the Gods title.
Yeah, great match. Lots of ladders, lots of action. Let's go. All right, T. Let's
Go on.
to-
Let's talk about
That
it.
actually was a good match. It was a good match. I've kind of lost my love for Pentagon Dark.
Have you?
Yeah, in the past couple of months. What? Are you mad?
No, he is my favorite of the theme songs.
His theme song. We
Yeah.
were just
It's
talking
so
about
good.
that.
It's
right.
really good.
Someone,
I like go fast forward just to see his entrance. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
I believe, I think it was Raven Siren. We've talked about it. We've talked about him before on the show. He made an awesome mashup of Pentagon Dark's theme song with Night Call from Drive.
Oh,
Kavinsky?
yeah.
Very cool.
I would think they probably ripped it off to make that one.
It's a great mashup. Super great song.
Wow, I'll have to hear that.
We've talked about his work before. He made a mashup of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Finn Balor's song to make The
awesome.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, that's good.
It's
That's amazing.
absolutely
I
phenomenal.
was jamming to Nightmare on My Street earlier today.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a real classic hit.
Exactly.
DJ Jazzy Jeff doesn't get his due diligence. Okay.
I think he still plays at festivals.
DJ
Does he?
Jazzy Jeff does?
Still jazzes it up.
I
I hope
Still
he gets like
Jazzy
thrown
Jeffs.
out and
I
then
didn't-
like you see like a dummy.
He's like, I did Nightmare on My Street. Damn it! I get killed at the end.
I'm a real DJ. This match was good though. Son of Havoc Brother of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. It's a good match. You know it's a good match because I don't care too much about either of these people.
But you cared in this instance? Or?
You did.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
I was like,
what a backhanded compliment.
But I love the ladders.
The only time
The ladder's
been
my
like,
favorite person in the match.
Say it, yeah. The only time I've like popped super hard for Son of Havoc is during that pizza bagels.
Sure.
Pizza bites?
That's
pizza
fair.
Bagels? Pizza bagels.
Yeah.
With
Vignette.
Mascarita Sagrada.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Was
Oh,
that
you
Bagel
know.
Bites? No, it was Bagel
Bagel
Bites.
bites.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh God. But
Just don't speak ever.
this. You're right. I gotta go.
Just go
Thank
down
you
the
so
rabbit,
much
there's
for
a
your
rabbit
time.
hole down there.
Behind the
Yeah.
desk.
That's how I got here.
But no, I really like this match. It was very cool. There was a couple like gratuitous spots that were just like, we have ladders, we're gonna use them. But beyond that, what was that one that was the really nasty boy?
The package pile driver onto the open chairs.
Ooh, doggy.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
No.
Right.
That was my match.
Was
Really?
it?
See? I guess
Producer
you won me
extraordinaire.
over.
I won't tell you what other match on this show was also mine. Book into
But
that
this
bitch.
one was
But yeah, it was good stuff. It's that package pile driver especially.
How
Yeah.
cool is that title also? That gift of the
That
Gods?
that
Very
title,
cool.
we've talked about it. God, I wish Jimbo was here. We've talked about how much it is just the dragon belt from WMAC Masters with all of the medallions,
Yeah.
you know?
Masters, the martial arts thing.
You're damn right, exactly.
That was so good.
It's such a great show.
When we won those medallions, just to like keep talking about myself.
Sure.
We, they had them in these little pouches, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, like you don't see it on TV because they cut because they're like you ruined it. But like we're supposed to be all ecstatic because we finally won and we beat the Worldwide Underground. Is that the name? So I remember getting up on the corner with this medallion and like pulling it out of the bag or whatever, and I was like, yeah, and I like put my hands up all quick, and the thing went flying like into the crowd.
Oh boy.
Like, and I was like, oh shit! And, like the whole place like started laughing, and it landed like somewhere into the crowd. And I was like, hey, and I spotted the guy. I was like, come here, you know what you did. And he was like, okay. And he like brought it back to me, but like I thought I was like, whoa, but there goes like an expensive prop.
Right.
I also like that you said you know what you did. You
Yeah.
just threw
You
it
know
at
what you
him.
did.
You
You
threw it at
wanted
his
to
face.
steal something that I accidentally gave to you.
That's
You
where
made
I
me
thought.
throw it.
That's where I thought that was going. Is that someone just pocketed it?
Oh
that'd
man,
be
Get a,
great.
get a whole new medallion.
This is not chocolate. You know, I need this. Oh my
Right.
career depends on it.
Yes, Rachel. Looks like
I'm
you're.
just thinking about Pentagon Dark's face.
What about it?
Beneath the paint?
No.
Because he had that tattooed on his face, that makeup.
Oh, that's good. I like
Because
that.
he's so over, like he's booked everywhere that
I
he
really
thought
respect
like
that.
this is so stupid. Like I'm booked pretty much several times a day.
He works
every
so
day.
often.
Yeah,
Might
like
as well just tattoo this on my
yeah,
face.
it's like people who make their beds. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
stupid.
It's the thank you.
Right.
So
It's
dumb.
so dumb.
You're going to be messing
It's
that
so
up tonight.
dumb. Like
right?
I need my decorative. Fuck your decorative pillows, man.
You're right.
Like so.
I make a cocoon and then I get in and I get out. And I get in and I get out.
I just rest where I rest, man. You know, when
Right.
it's time
You
for
gotta
us
be
to close
cozy.
my eyes. Yeah, you know, a
Okay.
nice trading car.
I started doing something weird. I need you to tell me if it is indeed weird or
Horribly
if I'm...
weird.
I'm sure it's going
so
to be.
weird.
It's,
Yeah.
I don't think it is. Okay, I had a hard time putting on my fitted sheet, so I went to Target and I bought a king size blanket, and I'm using that as a fitted sheet. Put a sheet on top of it. Put comforter on top of that. Is that too many things?
It's not weird as much as it is just lazy.
Is it lazy or is it more work?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess
Yeah,
in a
'cause it
way.
won't stay tucked in.
I
as
guess,
well,
I guess
right?
in a way it is more work.
I mean, it depends how like active you are sleeping. Like, do you roll around a lot? Because then like the sheets would encompass you like an actual cocoon.
So it's a good idea.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know.
Okay, cool guys.
Yeah.
Okay. It is
mean-
cozy.
It's cozy. It's cozy. So one last thing after this ladder match is over,
Sorry, I forgot.
we get a very silvery
Yeah.
Vampiro.
Quacksilver.
Quacksilver.
Yeah.
Cocksilver.
He's a chrome boy.
Yeah.
He's a chrome from
he's a-
from Fury Road.
Yeah, he
right,
is.
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted
Chrome-
Prince Puma to witness him.
Chrome boy.
He's
Witness me, Pooms.
sweet-
Witness me.
Sweet Chrome boy.
Oh, Oh.
We get their involvement in advance of Puma's title versus career match next week against Johnny Mundo. We've got that to look forward to. We've got the triple threat match for the gauntlet between Cage, Mil Muertes, and Jeremiah Crane also next week.
Oh yeah.
Jeremiah Crane.
Right?
Yeah.
I love him.
From the Last House on the Left.
He is from Last House on the Left. I love that.
Yes.
He's so good. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
He's the
Cool.
goodest.
He's a good boy.
He's a good.
Are those the only two matches left?
No, wait, what was it? So the
Also, if you're
Mundo
gonna do a
and
vignette,
Mundo and Puma, the triple threat.
Pooms.
Pooms.
Pooms. This is for you, bro.
yeah,
This is for you, Pooms.
dark pimps.
I've
I'm
lost
wearing
track.
my dark pimps.
Shave your Pooms.
I've lost track over these episodes. I can't remember if there's anything more than those two.
I don't appreciate that they did a vignette of Vampiro doing a satanic ritual and then like didn't do it right.
Well, it's not necessarily satanic.
They literally made a sigil surrounding. Yeah, it was.
Was it a pentagram?
It was supposed to. I mean, it was supposed to be at least a
Or
circle.
was
It
it
was
a
like.
pentagon?
Pentagon? Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah.
wow. Color me impressed.
Let's talk about Vampiro's love for Mushroom Head, shall we? Is that-
I could not believe you busted out that reference when we were watching that.
Well, it's just not like.
I
come on.
went through a very, very hardcore Mushroom Head phase myself as
He,
well.
also, he
When you
reminded
were
me
Jack.
as well of as the
Before that.
there's this film in 1986, maybe 1988, called Scarecrows,
Okay.
and
It's on Netflix.
yeah, it's terrific about these like bank robbers and they're flying away and they like one of them turns on the others and they all basically eject and land over this cornfield that has all these scarecrows in it. And scarecrows kill these guys. It's pretty wicked. But
That
anyways,
sounds awesome.
Yeah, this Vampiro makeup. That was the highlight for me. Was that it reminded me of this great film.
Sure, absolutely.
Scarecrows.
Definitely. The X between his eyebrows reminded me a little of House of a Thousand Corpses. A
Yeah.
little bit of Otis B. Driftwood.
Don't give him that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great movie.
Yeah, don't give him that. Yeah, don't give him that.
I wasn't inspired by
let him
that.
keep his
I
crown.
wasn't
let him
inspired
keep his-
by
You're
it.
projecting greatness onto
I'm
him.
saying it reminded me of that.
Well, because you're good.
Was that a Krav Maga outfit at the end? I
looked-
I couldn't tell if that was a Krav Maga
Right.
suit.
Very
or
well.
not. I don't
Very
know.
well could be.
Have you ever heard that song, I Want to Be Ninja?
I have not.
All right, we have
How
some
does it
homework.
go?
I want to be ninja.
Well,
Pretty good.
Well, you heard it here first.
That's pretty
Go look that up. On that note, Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Can I stay here?
Yeah.
You can just live here for
Okay,
now. Paul
cool.
just
That'd be
sleeps
great.
in the studio now.
That'd be great.
There we go.
Did I win something?
We got some night call for our outro music.
Oh, yeah.
But Paul, if you want to tell our listeners and our viewers where they can find you, where can they find you?
Well, there's this street that I hang out on usually after 11:30.
Oh my God.
No, there's like a lot of activity there.
I bet.
Twitter and Instagram at London Fu, like Kung Fu, not like the FU.
Not
that
London
gets-
FU.
Yeah. I mean, there is that too. It
It's-
depends if I like you or not. But mostly like Kung Fu. LONDON FU, motherflow. No, okay, just the FU part. London Fu.
Rachel, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. She's joined Snapchat. Or Snapchat at Rachel Sam Evans.
You had been on Snapchat.
I didn't remember, so send me all of the pictures.
Don't.
I love it.
Please don't.
At Rachel Sam Evans or Rachel Sam Vans. Honestly, it does depend on how your brain works, Tyler. Or you can find me at www.youtube.com/snarled. Oh! Tomorrow's Friday the 13th, and we're going live for so many hours on Snarled. We're doing giveaways, we're doing charity events. Charity's good. We're playing video games and also watching things. And I might have not clothes on at one point.
Because
There's-
a butcher knife will cut them off
That's right!
and stab her. Because they'll say, you know what the rules in a horror movie are.
Guys,
He's right!
as always, you can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. Find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram. Catch me on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Saturdays, 4 p.m. Check your local listings, or if you're local, every second and fourth Sunday of the month, 3 p.m. It's completely free. It's on the beach. Get some wrestling in your life. We have got one episode left in this
Wow.
season. It's been an incredibly long season, but we want to thank you so much. If you're on iTunes, remember, download, comment, review, subscribe, rate 5 stars if you're nasty. If you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. If you're joining us on on Facebook Live, thank you so much for joining us. But find us on all forms of social media. Talk to us about Lucha. Talk to us about Ultima Lucha Part 4 next week. But until then, Viva la Lucha.
Viva la Lucha.
Micro Machine.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.